So just tell us about yourself, what you do.
I'm a full-time model, but I also am really big into wellness and health and making sure that I'm constantly prioritizing that in my life.
And then for those of you who don't know, Melissa was one of our models back in March. She had such a beautiful aura.
Oh, thanks, Courtney. That's so sweet.
What mental wellness practices help you feel confident?
I'm like a big believer in like multi-senses, and so like the 5 senses. So I kind of dibble dabble into like everything to help with my mental confidence, and mental wellness, but mental confidence, all overall confidence. But it definitely entails focusing on like when it comes to like breathing, as small as that is. But I know a lot of us know about breath work, but for me it's like before I step into a room, I always remind myself to take deep breaths. I also speak to myself in a way that is uplifting and positive. So before I also step into a room, I just tell myself that I'm that girl, I have all the energy in the world, and that, just be my authentic self in a space, allow myself to be free and to move in that energy. I'm bringing something into a space that can also be received. So that helps me feel really confident when I'm out in the world and in the wild. I also love nature. We live in LA, right? So you got to kind of like go look for nature a little bit, but it's not too far. You get to go to the beach or go on a hike into the canyons. But yeah, being in nature definitely helps me with my mental clarity and going on walks, socializing with my friends, my family, listening to music that makes me feel really good, like uplifts my mood. All of these things really play a vital role in like pretty much depositing into like my confidence bank, because I'm prioritizing things that I know are going to make me feel better. And when I feel good, then I feel confident.
I have one memory of you from our photo shoot where, everyone was inside getting like touch-ups or hair done, and you were out in the sun just standing there looking so fabulous. And I was like, oh wow, like she's like, taking the time, to get the vitamin, taking it all in.
Yeah, I'm like such a sun baby. I love being in the sun. Like the sun just like radiates me from within, and it gives me energy. Like it gives all of us energy. But yeah, I'm really big on like those little small moments too. Like the little details as well. So like just taking that time to like step outside and ground myself and enjoy. If it's a beautiful day and I can do that, I'm like, yeah, while I'm on set, I'm gonna go outside and get that sun.
What are your most high maintenance to stay low maintenance habits or treatments that you do, skincare stuff?
Yeah, so definitely high maintenance to stay low maintenance. I would start off with diet, so food. I spend a lot of money on like organic food, because obviously if you take care of yourself within, then that's more preventative for having to spend a lot of money on trying to cure something, right? So I'm big on spending a lot of money on food that's going to make me feel good. Of course, gym memberships and yoga memberships, things like that, because I'm big into like movement. So that's high maintenance, but also once again, I'm depositing into my health bank. And then when it comes to like treatments, I would definitely say high maintenance would be facials, massages, and then SEV, getting my hair laser. But I always say, I'm like, this is probably one of my most high maintenance routines, but it's definitely something that I feel like is necessary for me, and it definitely aids in my confidence, and it gives me so much of my time back because I'm not wasting time in the shower, shaving all my body part areas. Like it's just so quick. I rarely have to shave, but I'm like, I love it. I love it. I will always swear by laser hair removal. But yeah, it keeps it very low maintenance for me because then, my everyday life, I don't have to really worry about
I
all the
always
extras.
Joke around and say it limits our everything shower,
Exactly, it does. I swear to God, it cuts it by like 20 minutes for me.
No, seriously.
Yeah, I'm like in 20 minutes, I'm like, I need that time, babe.
There's this misconception of being like a high maintenance girly, but it long term, you save money, like you said, even for food, you're taking care of yourself. With laser hair removal, you're saving time, money.
Yes. Yeah.
With waxing, you have to constantly go. With razors, you're constantly purchasing them.
Yeah. And yeah, and I guess like shaving cream and all the stuff. But yeah, no, it definitely should, especially as a model, right? Because I have to have a lot of like maintenance and upkeep because I'm in bikinis or lingerie, or like my legs need to be shaved all the time. And I swear to God, like my hair grows back so fast. Like it grows back so fast. So like ever since I started lasering, it's been like a game changer for me because now that's literally something I rarely have to think about. I'll get a little peach fuzz here and there and I'm like, oh yeah, like let me just quickly shave that. But it takes me maybe 5 minutes to just do like a quick upkeep. So it is like my saving grace, my time back, but also makes my skin look really pretty, you know, and I'm just ready and prepared. And yeah, it's something that I definitely appreciate and prioritize.
Yeah, completely. Big game changer for sure.
Yeah.
What are the daily things that keep you confident?
The daily things that keep me confident, kind of similar. It's almost like echoing what I mentioned as my answers for the other questions, but kind of just like making sure that I prioritize my self-care, making sure that my needs are met, things that I know are crucial to me feeling my very best, but also making sure that I amplify the things that I know that bring me happiness. So like movement, once again, I know that's something that I need on a daily because that's great for my mental health, right? So knowing that I've moved my body, whether that's going on a walk, going to the gym, doing yoga, going on a hike, whatever that may look like, that's part of my daily practice. I'm really big into music, and I'm a big believer like the sounds that we take in really do matter. And so there's certain type of music that I need to listen to on a daily to really like set the tone. I'm all about like setting the tone and really curating my environment. So that kind of leads me into the daily practices of like curation. I curate the environment always. So like my home's always going to feel away. I'm big into the senses, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm always going to have different smells, whether it's an incense or a diffuser with let's say like a rose essential oil or peppermint, like whatever it feels like I need. Like peppermint is like very like revitalizing, you know, it makes me feel like energized and refreshed. Yeah, just making sure that my home feels good, speaking kindly to myself, doing some check-ins, making sure I'm eating well and hydrating, getting my water intake, because you know that's an easy one that people forget about, but that's so extremely important because that shows up in so many different ways, mentally and physically. But yeah, and also doing my spiritual practice as well. I pray every day. I meditate. I breathe. I take time just to like, I don't know, look at like the smallest, simplest things. There's something called neuroaesthetics, and it's the science that when we look at things that are beautiful, we release a chemical dopamine, and that makes us obviously feel good and feel happy. So making sure that I have beauty in my life, but also stop to look at the small things in the world that are beautiful too. Yes. And that's also showing like gratitude. So yeah, I would add gratitude into that.
Yeah. I always reference, make sure you go touch grass.
Exactly. Go touch some grass. Yeah.
What's the difference for you between being off duty versus days where you're just completely going and working?
Off duty, I think I give myself permission to just rest. You know, I think that's the biggest difference. On duty, obviously you're on, so you don't rest as much. And I think it's really important to rest. I think that is doing something and that is vital to like having a balanced life. So when I'm off duty, I try to remind myself that it's okay to rest and not be so determined to like check off all of my to-do list, because that to-do list is always going to be there. It's ever existing. It never goes anywhere, right? You check off one thing, something else adds on. But yeah, so for me, it's definitely just giving myself that permission to rest and allow myself to do whatever I feel like doing, whether that's playing. And when I say playing, it's diddle-daddling, frolicking, just running little errands because I want to, or doing absolutely nothing. But it really is just like permission to do nothing.
A lot of us think we just need to go, and we need to take a step back and relax sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a hustle and bustling culture. We've been taught, that you should always be doing something. And in this society, you can always be doing something. It's very seldom that we are bored, right? Like, I'm like, when's the last time I've been bored? Like, it's been so long, but boredom is such a beautiful thing because that's where you get like your like spark of inspiration, creativity, and you innovate. So yeah, I definitely am trying to like find more boredom, quote unquote, moments. But yeah, resting is so crucial. Like, we gotta rest. Like, take a nap, girl, and don't feel bad about it.
Are there any misconceptions you think people have about your work, and not just your work alone, but with modeling itself?
I think this probably is a given, but I think people think it's much easier than what it really is. I think they think it's very thoughtless, maybe, and you just show up and like you're a mannequin. But there's so much more to being a model and being a good model at that. Physically, yes, you show up and you pose, but you also have to understand like your body. You do have to be in tune with your body. You have to know what works best, like what are your angles. That's a practice, being in front of the mirror and like figuring those things out. It's a skill and it's an art within itself. And it's also acting because you're embodying a role at the same time. It's just a different type of acting. And then, not every day you feel your best and you got to go on set and you got to deliver, but you could be feeling like not confident at all that day. Especially as a woman, we deal with so many fluctuations of mood, right? And being bloated and you got to be in a bathing suit or in lingerie or something, and then you have to feel like confident, like there is no other option, right? You have to turn on. So once again, that's acting. And then it's also like going and finding the work and building your portfolio and making those connections. And I'm big on energy, like you mentioned, like how the energy was on set. Like, I'm big on that. And there's a term called effective presence. And I think when you step on set or you do anything in life and you're interacting with people, your presence is effective. And like, whether it's a negative or a positive thing, people will remember that. And so I think like knowing like set etiquette, knowing how to make people feel good, connecting with people, treating everyone with respect. Like, it's so much more than just showing up and being a model. It is, you are showing up and you are being like an energy at the same time, and you are connecting on so many different levels.
For anyone who is interested and they're just starting, what's like just one advice you could give them?
Get comfortable in your skin. Learn to kind of just move freely, look in the mirror, like I said, practice your posing, maybe play your favorite song, because modeling to me is like dancing. And when you can be very fluid with it, you can catch so many different angles so much more naturally, and then you're not so stiff. So I think a lot of it would be like definitely get comfortable in your skin.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course.
You are so beautiful inside and out. We're so glad you did this.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for having me and considering me for this. This was so much fun. I enjoyed it.
Of course.